There is a profound lesson in leadership that is often overlooked in one of our most familiar stories, the story of Moses and the burning bush. God appears to Moses and says to him, "Go down to Egypt, confront Pharaoh, and demand that he let the people go." And Moses said, "It won't work. I won't even get to Pharaoh because the people themselves won't believe me. They won't believe that you have appointed me to save them." What does God say next? "What is that in your hand?" And Moses replies, "A staff." God tells him to throw the staff down. It turns into a snake. And God says to Moses, "You'll show this sign to the Jewish people and they will believe in you." But there's an extra step in this conversation that appears to be completely unnecessary. What is that in your hand? Obviously, it's a staff. What possible reason is there for God to ask Moses to identify what he's holding? So one of the great contemporaries of a little over 100 years ago, Rabbi Meir Lebush Malvim, he says the following: there were three possible answers that Moses could have responded with. He could have said, in Hebrew, it's a makel, a shepherd's crook, because that was what Moses did. He was a shepherd. He could have said, it's a mashenes, it's a cane, a walking stick, because Moses was 80 years old, and this was the cane he used to walk. But he doesn't give those answers. Instead, he says it's a mata, it's a staff. Now, in Hebrew, the word mata is the same word as a scepter, a sign of royalty and leadership, and really explains the Malbim what God was saying. When he asked Moses, "What's that in your hand?" he's really asking, how do you identify yourself? Do you see yourself by your profession as a shepherd? Do you see yourself as an old man who needs a stick to help him walk? Or do you see yourself as a leader? Moses replies, it's a staff. It's a sign of leadership. And God says to him, you will take that staff. And he uses it in every one of his miracles and in all the plagues that he brings upon Egypt. He uses the staff because it's a sign, not just for the Jewish people, but for Moses himself. You see yourself as a leader, the people will see you as a leader as well. Of course, our self-image has to be rooted in reality. I truly have to have developed in myself the qualities of leadership. But part of that, an essential ingredient, is that sense of deserved and earned self-confidence, of self-worth, self-value. I know what my strengths are. I know what I can contribute. I know what I'm capable of. Because when we believe in ourselves, and that belief is founded in reality, there is virtually no limit to what we can accomplish. It's a tremendous lesson for leaders in every area of life, in business, in community, in family. To recognize our own self-worth is an essential element in showing others that we have the competence and the conviction to lead in the direction where we all need to go.